Breaking news! We've reached the end of another week, and we have some rumors that are causing a lot of opinions behind the scenes at the Steelers. I'll tell you everything in a moment, but first make sure you've hit the like button if you've been a Pittsburgh Steelers fan for over 20 years. If possible, comment something like, "Go Steelers! Let's go further this season." Now let's get to the subject that has a lot of people wondering. A name that's suddenly emerging with force in Steelers Nation is Malachi Corley. That's right, Corley, who had a troubled rookie season with the New York Jets, may be headed to the Steel City. And why is that significant? Because this isn't just any receiver being considered in trade talks. This is someone who was on the Steelers front office's radar just a year ago. Arthur Smith, the new offensive coordinator, reportedly had his eye on Corley during the recruiting process. The team had legitimate interest in bringing him in as a mid-round pick, and now with the WR2 spot still open, it could be time to revisit that connection. Corley's rookie year was a bit of a statistician's dream, just 83 offensive snaps and almost no chemistry with Aaron Rodgers. But don't be too quick to write him off. At 215 pounds, Corley brings size, power, and raw physicality to the position. He's been compared to Deebo Samuel for a reason. Back at Western Kentucky, he was a monster after the catch, forcing missed tackles at one of the highest rates in college football. The potential is there, and if he can develop even a little bit of a rhythm with Rodgers after last year, this could be the kind of move that comes along and defines the season. But here's the twist. Would Rodgers even want Corley here? That's where it gets murky. The chemistry just didn't develop in New York, and it's entirely possible Rodgers would veto that idea in favor of someone like Allen Lazard, his longtime companion from both Green Bay and New York. Lazard has history, trust, and a proven connection with Rodgers, especially on critical downs and in high-pressure situations. If the Steelers are aiming to add someone Rodgers already feels in sync with, Lazard could be the safer bet. There's also Romeo Dew in the mix, a younger option with upside who could be had for the right price. But between those three names, the Steelers brass has a decision to make, and soon. And speaking of Rodgers, the buzz around him in Pittsburgh is nothing short of electric. Jay Glazer, a longtime insider and close friend of Mike Tomlin, is all in. He's on record saying that there are only two places Rodgers could realistically win another Super Bowl, with Sean McVay in LA, which is no longer an option, or right here, with Tomlin and Arthur Smith. That's a bold statement, and it carries weight. Even Ben Roethlisberger chimed in with some optimism, saying fans should expect a better, sharper Rodgers this year despite his age and injury history. That's coming from someone who knows firsthand what it means to battle through pain and still lead. Let's not sugarcoat it, Rodgers' road back hasn't been easy. A torn Achilles at 41 would be career-ending for most, and yet here he is, looking like he's in the best shape we've seen in years. This isn't just about throwing the deep ball or threading tight windows. It's about command. It's about leadership. It's about bringing stability to a franchise that's searching for its next chapter under center. Rodgers doesn't need to play hero ball. He needs to manage, inspire, and deliver in clutch moments. And in Pittsburgh, that may be enough. Now, what about the defense? According to Pro Football Focus, the Pittsburgh Steelers now own the #1 defensive line in the entire NFL. That's not fan bias. That's coming straight from the top analysts in the game. With a fully healthy TJ Watt back in the mix, Cam Hayward still dominating the interior, and Alex Highsmith continuing to make his presence felt, this unit is downright terrifying. Add first-round pick Derek Harmon to that mix, a disruptive force from Oregon who's already turning heads, and you've got a defensive front that can go toe-to-toe with any quarterback in the league. It's not just about the starters either. Nick Herbig, the best rotational edge rusher in football according to PFF, gives this unit rare depth. His pass rush grade ranked 17th out of nearly 120 edge rushers last season. That means when Watt or Highsmith need a breather, the drop-off is minimal. This line has the tools to make life hell for Mahomes, Allen, Burrow, and yes, even Lamar Jackson. Now let's address what Mina Kimes called the Ravens' problem. She pointed to the Steelers' defense getting manhandled by Baltimore's rushing attack. 6 yards per carry. Total domination. But here's what she didn't highlight. TJ Watt was hurt. And when Watt is off the field, this defense simply isn't the same. Look back at Week 11 last season when he was healthy. Steelers won. The Ravens were held to just 16 points. That's not a coincidence. In fact, Lamar Jackson has only beaten a fully healthy Watt once in his entire career. When number 90 is out there and operating at full speed, the Steelers own that matchup. So maybe it's not the Steelers who have a problem with the Ravens. Maybe it's the other way around. One last thing that's sparking conversation and even some outrage around Steelers Nation, George Pickens, now with the Cowboys, was supposed to host a youth camp in Pittsburgh. He made promises. He said he'd show. And now, he's bailed. Days away from the event, and the kids of Pittsburgh are left hanging. But in true Steelers fashion, someone stepped up. Pat Freiermuth, a true leader and potential future team captain, is filling in. That's the type of character we need more of in this locker room. Quiet, dependable, and always ready to serve the community. George Pickens may be gone, but with leaders like Pat, the heart of this team is still beating strong. Now it's your turn. What do you think? Should the Steelers bring in Malachi Corley, or is it time to reunite Rogers with Allen Lazard? Do you buy the hype around this defensive line being #1 in the league? And do the Steelers have a true Ravens problem, or does Lamar still have to prove he can conquer this defense when it's fully armed? Drop your thoughts in the comments. We've talked about Malachi Corley. We've talked about the Allen Lazard option. We've even touched on what Aaron Rodgers could bring to the table. But now let's take a closer look at what all of this truly means for the identity of this Pittsburgh Steelers team going into the 2025 season, and why this could be a make-or-break campaign for Mike Tomlin's entire regime. There's no doubt that bringing in Aaron Rodgers changes the dynamic. This isn't about developing a rookie quarterback or waiting for a young gun to mature. This is about winning now. And Rodgers didn't come to Pittsburgh to manage mediocrity. He came here to leave a legacy. But for that to happen, the pieces have to fit, and not just on paper. That's where the Steelers' WR room becomes the focus of a lot of debate. Right now, the wide receiver core looks promising but incomplete. Roman Wilson is a young, exciting weapon with the speed and burst to stretch the field. Calvin Austin III offers special teams value and the kind of quickness that can open up underneath routes. And then there's DK Metcalf, the big name in the room, but even his presence isn't enough if the Steelers lack depth and versatility. That's why the search for Rodgers' WR2 is crucial. Whether it's a trade for Corley, Lazard, or someone else, Pittsburgh cannot afford to enter this season with uncertainty at a position so critical to Rodgers' style of play. Remember, Rodgers thrives when he has his guy, someone who knows where to be, reads the coverage the same way he does, and executes under pressure. That guy doesn't exist yet on this roster. Now pivoting back to the defense, yes, it's elite. Yes, the rankings confirm what Steelers fans have been saying for years. This front seven is different. But what makes this group so terrifying isn't just the individual talent, it's how they complement each other. TJ Watt is the engine, no doubt. But the emergence of Alex Highsmith as a consistent force off the edge has made it impossible for offenses to double one side without paying the price on the other. Cam Hayward continues to anchor the middle with leadership and ferocity. And adding Derek Harmon from Oregon? That's just unfair. Harmon brings something the Steelers have lacked for a while, interior disruption with youth and upside. His tape out of Oregon shows a player who wins with quick hands, strong leverage, and non-stop motor. So what do you think, Steelers Nation? Is this the year we shock the world? Is this the defense that finally brings Mahomes to his knees? Is Aaron Rodgers really the final piece of this puzzle? Let me know in the comments below. And if you've made it this far, hit that subscribe button, throw a like on this video, and stay locked in. We've got more breaking news and updates coming your way faster than a TJ Watt strip sack. Until next time, here we go, Steelers.